It's only fitting that Hotep and Hoi would start with probably the biggest god in the ancient Egyptian pantheon, the god Ra or Re was the ancient Egyptian god of the sun. He is primarily identified with the noonday sun, so when the sun is at the highest peak in the sky. He ruled in all parts of the ancient Egyptian world and was sometimes seen as the king of the gods. He's primarily portrayed as a falcon or a falcon-headed man and looks very similar to the falcon god Horus. But Re has a sun disk with a coiled serpent on top of his head. He can also be associated with scarab beetles or rams. Emerging in the 2nd dynasty, by the 5th dynasty, Ra was one of the most important gods in ancient Egyptian religion. And throughout some of the later Egyptian history, Ra was associated or combined with various other gods, resulting in the god Amun-Ra, Atum-Ra, and Re-Harakti. The main cult center of Ra was a place called Iunu, which was the place of the pillars, and this was later known as Heliopolis in the Ptolemaic period. It is currently located in the suburbs of Cairo, unfortunately kind of hard for us to excavate a lot of it. But there was even a holiday for Ra called the Receiving of Ra, and according to our calendar, it would have been celebrated on May 26th. Surprisingly, there are not a lot of images of Ra in the song or in the Prince of Egypt as a whole, which is kind of a bummer because of how big of a god Ra was during ancient Egyptian history. I do like the subtle imagery of the sun disk on top of the head at the beginning of the song where Ra is mentioned. Check back in next week to learn about more of the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt.